My name is Damali Ssali and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected. And today I host Denis Orech, who is the CEO and co-founder of MedMoo, and he's going to tell us all about it. Denis, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Damali.
Yeah. Tell me, MedMoo, why the name? What does it even mean?
MedMoo is a Luo word.
It's MedMoo?
MedMoo.
Why was I going MedMoo? It's MedMoo.
It's like people saying Kampala,
Yeah.
then in the north, Kampala.
Yeah. So it's MedMoo. Okay.
MedMoo. That's like the Luo pronunciation of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
MedMoo loosely translates into refill or refuel.
Okay, so that's connected to what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us what MedMoo does.
MedMoo gives fuel on credit, specifically right now, to BodaBoda riders. Yes. Right now we're currently located in Lida. We're only working in Lida as of now. We've been operational since 3rd of January this year. Yes. So it's been your 8 months old? Yes, that's it, apparently, yes.
Okay. So why just Lira? Are you thinking of expanding? Or?
Yes, we're thinking of expanding. This being something that is new in the market, that needs to be tested. And we need a small group, a control group, whereby we can easily control the results and get it. So we decided to choose Lira, not only because of the size of the population and the district, being sizable enough in that it's small, at the same time big enough for us to be able to generate some sensible business. Most people actually don't know, but I saw statistics as of 2019. Lira was the 3rd highest remitter of URA taxes in Uganda.
Really?
Yes.
Is it a city?
It is a city.
Lira is a city.
It is a city.
I know that. Okay.
Yeah, it is a city.
But that's interesting. I did not know that.
For sure.
You should repeat it more often. I'm sure most people don't know that.
Most people don't.
Okay, so tell me, I'm a BodaBoda guy. I am in Lira. How do I get onto MedMoo to help me refuel?
No, if you're BodaBoda guy and you're in Lira and you've heard of MedMoo, we have our partner stations. Of which you can actually walk up to there. You'll find the desk branded MedMoo. It's not hard to miss because we have our banners there, the telescopic banners all over the place. So you can go over there and you check in onto the desk. You make intentions known of you wanting to register. The person on the desk is going to inquire whether
there'll be a person there. So
yes,
if I go to the petrol station, there'll be a MedMoo banner, and then there'll be a person there.
Yes, there's going to be a desk over there of which you'll be referred to.
Okay.
When you go over to the desk, you'll be asked whether your stage has been registered. That's the first thing. If your stage has been registered, then we'll continue. We'll go ahead and register you. We take your name, your contact, active contacts, the number plate of the bike you're using, and then your stage, basically, so that we may put you under the right stage. Now, if your stage is not registered, what we do is, all the people in the field will always find a way of sending someone there to meet you from wherever you are at your stage. And most times we advise them to organize so that everybody registers at once. So we send a MedMoo representative. Is going to take the details of the stage and also drop a pin so that we know the location of the stage that actually exists.
Like a Google pin?
Yes.
So the stages that you've registered, you know that I've come, but if I say I'm from that stage, you know the location, the geographical location of the place.
Yes.
Okay.
So essentially we have 120 stages registered and counting in Lira.
So for 120.
120.
So if you register a stage, what exactly do you register? Like now you go physically to a stage. You register all the people there?
When we register a stage, first of all, we get the stage name. And then
they all have names?
Yes, they all have names. They all have names. So we get the stage name, and then we get in touch with the chairman, because the stages happen actually to be highly organized. These people actually have smaller units of committees in each stage, whereby there's a chairman, a vice chairman, there's a secretary general, and then there's a gentleman in charge of welfare, and then there's a gentleman in charge of security. So those are the people.
I did not know they're that organized.
They're very organized.
Each stage it has that same structure.
Yes.
Okay.
Very organized.
And the chairman or person could be a lady.
Could be a lady. For sure, could be a lady.
So the chairperson is also a BodaBoda rider. Is among them. Is one of them.
One of them is a colleague.
Okay. Oh, good.
So we take the chairman's details as well, and then they do register. Most times we first we ask them to register on a piece of paper when they're many, and then the chairman co-signs on it as a new stage. And then of course under our terms and conditions, since we're offering loans that are not secured, collateral free, out of the notion of Ubuntu, each and every person that has registered for the MedMoo service is going to act as a sort of a guarantor.
Okay.
Yes. So moment that has been completed, the list is actually forwarded onto the offices and is registered.
Okay, so you guys put it on your database?
On our database.
Okay.
Moment that is done, they are alerted through either phone call or SMS that you can have access to it. So.
Okay. Now my stage is registered. I walk to a petrol station where there's a MedMoo. Or I walk to a petrol station. How do I get the fuel?
When you walk to the petrol station, again, our desk is over there. All you have to do is just walk over there and then put in your number plate. You give in your number plate. Now, your number plate is your unique identifier. Moment it's entered in our system, our web-based system, it brings in all your details from your name, your stage location, your contacts, everything that we took from you. At the same time, it's also going to show your statement and the status of your credit, whether you have a loan that has to be cleared or your balance is zero.
Okay, so I'm new. I want to walk through the process. So I'm new. I came to your desk at a petrol station where MedMoo was there. I told them I want to register. They told me, well, your stage is not in the system. They've come to the stage. They've registered all of us. Now I'm in the system. Now following day I come back. I want fuel. It's my first time to get the fuel. How do I get it? Or the loan. How do I get the loan?
You just walk over to our desk.
Yes.
Again, it can't be missed. Walk over to our desk. The lady, they've been trained, the
it's
customer
ladies.
service. Yes.
It's ladies who do that?
Ladies are the ones.
Oh, thank you. Because I was just about to accuse you guys. I mean, BodaBoda is only guys, but at least in your service, you.
We employ strictly ladies.
Okay.
It's what our clients prefer.
The guys prefer to talk to the ladies.
They prefer to talk to the ladies.
That's interesting.
I've actually been chased a couple of times,
They're like, no, you go.
You're going, like, it's okay.
That's interesting. Very interesting business. Okay. So I find your lady, and then I've now registered. So how do I get access to this loan?
You're now registered. You're at our desk. All you have to do is submit the number plate.
I tell them my number plate.
Your number plate. You have to be with the bike over there.
Okay.
When you submit the number plate, the lady is going to run it through our system that is on the phone, work phone that she uses. And then, of course, she'll ask you how much fuel of how much that you want. And we usually give fuel ranging from 5,000 to 20,000. Okay. And that
so if I'm a new one, can I still get 20,000?
If you're new, at the beginning, we were giving that of 20,000, but we had instances whereby someone comes and gets fuel, a one-off, and
then they never come back.
Yeah, they just disappear. Tracing them is also so hard.
Yeah.
So to minimize such, we found 10,000 as a sweet spot.
Okay.
Yes.
So I get my 10K. So do I get 10K cash to pay the?
We give them fuel vouchers.
Okay, so it's not cash to.
It's not cash.
The BodaBoda guy.
It's not cash.
It's a voucher.
It's a voucher.
Okay. And then I take the voucher.
You take the voucher to one of the pumps. There's a designated pump that handles MedMoo. So it's taken over there. You just hand in the pump, and they know what to do. They give you fuel in regards to the amount of that is on the voucher.
Okay, so the BodaBoda guys are not getting cash, which they could use for other things.
They could use the cash for some other things.
Actually getting fuel.
Yes.
Okay, of a certain value.
Of a certain value.
Okay. So after they get the fuel, how do you get your payment back?
After they get the fuel, they have a 24-hour period to ride, and then pay out. So the following day, same time. Of course, we don't limit it to that particular time, but the following day, any time of the day, the Boda has to come back and bring back the fuel.
Okay. And if I've got 10K and say I've used the 10K within the day, can I still come back and get more fuel?
Yes, of course. Okay. As long as in the system is showing that you don't owe the business anything, you are clear to go. You can always come and get fuel as many times as you want to. And if you've come and gotten fuel from MedMoo, and you feel that you have to refuel, but without getting the service of MedMoo, you can still go ahead and do
Oh,
it.
I can still buy my own fuel.
You can still go and buy
So I
your
will
own
get
fuel.
your 10K of fuel, go do my business, make money, and then instead of paying you back, I go get fuel.
Yes.
You can do that.
You can do that, and the following day you come and clear
Okay.
the dues.
Okay, I like that. That's not limited. So from you've been operating for 8 months now.
Yes.
What are the key things you've learned? Because the BodaBoda industry is one of those industries. It's very informal. There's a lot of people there. There's barely any data. Most times when I'm Googling trying to find statistics on it, you find estimates of these numbers, but there's not much data around it. What are the key things you found? At least now you've been collecting data for 8 months. One
of the key things I found out is the BodaBoda industry is one of the most lucrative. Yes, especially being involved as a BodaBoda. We did basic calculations and we found that on average a BodaBoda rider is going to take home 1.3 million Uganda shillings.
At the end of the month?
At the end of the month.
Okay, wow.
Now, this is money that is barely taxed. It's barely taxed. And
1.3, that's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
This is in Lira?
This is in Lira.
Okay. Wow.
It's in Lira, 1.3. But I believe this is something that almost cuts across, all the cities in Uganda
can apply it,
and the major towns.
Yes.
And then
Maybe Kampala will be more.
Kampala would be more, most definitely.
Like 1.3 will be...
These guys go 100,000 a day.
Do you think those guys could be earning more than people earning offices?
Definitely. Definitely. I have friends of mine who are earning 600,000, the BodaBoda is taking 1.3. But the differentiator is,
yes.
is how can I say that, financial knowledge. That is a differentiator.
Okay.
Because if a guy is taking home 1.3 million, but this is money that is earning on a daily, and you find that the same group of people that actually live from hand to mouth.
So they're making this money daily, then they're eating it all day.
They're making the money daily. He doesn't see the following day. That's basically how it is.
Okay.
Yes. And the other thing that I found out is it's an informal sector that is highly organized to the smallest unit. And,
I'm surprised that this whole, you tell me the same structure is replicated at every stage. There's a chairperson, vice chair.
Yes,
interesting.
It's very organized. It's only we as MedMoo, it's a discovery that we found that people actually have a negative perception about BodaBoda riders being rowdy and really. Of course, that those bad seeds that are always there. I can see the 20% that stand out. But in general, the BodaBoda men are actually very trustworthy people. And the one thing I found out is that these are people who do not want, they know the public has a negative perception about them. And the riders of leader that we've interfaced with, really, they push so hard to make sure that, they don't live up to the name or the negative expectations that the society has of them.
Okay.
So you find that the rates of defaulting are actually much lower than one would expect. And then the other thing is that the Lira as a society is actually, for some reason, in my perception, they're way ahead of Uganda, especially when it comes to work, women working. I've seen so many instances whereby the ladies on the site actually doing manual labor.
But that's a societal, it's a culture societal.
I don't see that much around Kampala. It's a common sight.
Because it's a culture thing. Because in Kampala, well, it's I don't know.
I don't think it's a culture thing. You see, actually.
No, because I know that in northern Uganda, women ride bicycles and
yes.
And south they don't.
Oh, they also do ride bikes.
You do have female BodaBodas?
Yes, we do have female BodaBodas.
Okay.
There are actually 2 of them. Okay. There's one called Akela Margaret. I use her every morning.
Okay.
She's my Boda guy.
Like, I want a Boda guy. Akela, come and pick me up.
Yes.
That's interesting. So you were going through the key things that you found, at least over the last 8 months. One of which was they're very organized to the lowest level, actually. And then the perception, of course, there's a lot of bad perception around them. And then also they make a certain amount of money, which is quite significant, but the financial literacy maybe is lacking.
So yes, that was what I was going for. There's actually quite a low level of financial literacy. And what I found out is most of them are actually very educated. Most of them are educated. You find I think some at university.
Okay.
Others are done with university. And then I think senior 4, senior 6 usually a sweet spot for the most of them.
Okay.
And we found that most of them actually range from an age of, I think, 16 to 35. And then there are a few instances where
16 to 35.
you
They're
find
still youth.
they're still
Because in Uganda, that's youth.
yes,
Okay.
they're still youth. So it's mostly the youth. There's some instances whereby you find one of your clients is like, your father's age. And then, well, they're looking for money, but occasionally it gets, tricky.
For them.
It's for us as a company because
Why is it tricky to give money to
for example, there are instances whereby the Boda people default and we have a procedure.
What's the procedure?
One, if you fail to pay, for example, this year we've had a lot of ups and downs in regards to fuel. Now, fuel being
oh wow, yes, it's doubled. The price is doubled.
no, fuel being the how can I say the third highest priced commodity, or most important commodity in the world. It's something that we use on a daily, and this year it has been really messed up. Right from the times whereby the border was being closed because of some COVID regulations and all that the drivers weren't willing to adhere to. There was a spike in January.
Yes.
And this was the time we just started business.
Oh. Oh yes, you open in Jan.
Yes, there was a spike, and we got a little bit of some complaints. Yeah, actually, it wasn't a little, a lot of complaints. Our BodaBoda riders told us that the 24 hours that we gave them wasn't enough.
Not enough.
For example, if I got fuel of 20,000 shillings, it wasn't enough for them to ride and recover back the 20,000 worth of fuel that we gave them, and also make some money. So they requested us to have much more time for them. So we pushed it, and it was actually prior, because essentially fuel prices didn't actually go back down. They went down just a little bit, I think by 1,000 shillings, but they kept on looming at 5,500. So, and that was still high. That was still high. So we adjusted it and made it 72 hours from within which they can pay.
Okay.
So for people who get a certain price range of fuel, they have a time space of 72 hours for them to ride, and then they can now return back the money.
So is it still not 72 hours? You maintained it at 72 hours?
Well, maintain it 72 hours for a specific price range, 20,000 and above.
Okay, so if I get 10K, then it's 24 hours.
24 hours.
If I get 20K, then 72.
Yes.
Okay, and they are working within that. That's okay.
They're working within that. Yes, so that's what they requested for. So we're trying to give them what they want in those regards.
So we were talking about how the payback, because of course some default, but what is the rate of payback? You guys are not making losses with this, are you?
Of course, we're not making losses in general as a business.
Yes.
But just like any other credit, forwarding institution, the bad debts, the ones that we have to write off. For example, or you have a client who has had an accident. There's some clients who just abandon the business and be like, I'm going back
I'm
to
done
the village.
with the BodaBoda
Yes,
thing.
because essentially you find they don't own the BodaBodas. They're actually hiring it from a boss.
Oh, there's some of them who don't own the
There's
BodaBoda.
some who don't own.
So when you're lending them your money, even if you have the BodaBoda ID, the number plate of the BodaBoda, the liability is not theirs.
The liability is not theirs. On paper, it may seem that way, but that's the reason why we engage, the chairman and everybody in the state.
Okay.
So essentially, they know who is trustworthy and who is not trustworthy. On so many occasions, I have interfaced with the employees. I've also interfaced with some state chairmen and group members who say this person is not trustworthy. Don't register him.
They will tell you from the very beginning that one is not trustworthy.
And they're really begging, they're begging, and I'm concerned, and I'm like, why don't you want me to register?
Yeah, because that's discrimination against the person.
Exactly. So they give you a reason, and you wait, and you're like, this is valid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I will not register. Does the chairperson have to give a credit reference? Okay, where they have to say, Damali is a good guy.
That is very necessary, because remember, we're not taking in any collateral security.
Yes, you're giving away the fuel with nothing.
Yes, okay. For nothing. We're basically relying, on the word of the chairman and everybody in the committee, basically the goodwill of the stage members.
Okay.
Because remember, this is something that you're dealing with people that, you're not asking for collateral security. And this is an informal sector whereby, you don't really expect, so much of the procedures and all that stuff for them to be followed.
Okay. So I can see that, of course, a lot of this rotates around the chairman person. But what if it's the chairman who is not trustworthy? It happens.
Yes. Well, we actually do have those instances where the chairman is not trustworthy. But again, not every seed is bad. There's always that one person. There's always that one person that actually is trustworthy. They're usually able to pinpoint, because they're actually very hopeful. If the people are sent to the field, to do debt collections, they're able to pinpoint, this person is here, this person is here, or this person went to the village, come back to some other day. At times, I have had instances, where you go to a stage and you figure out the stage chairman is actually defaulting, and the stage members are super disappointed. Saying how you're the leader.
You're the leader. How
exactly.
Could you be letting us down?
And they do the most shocking things. They'll be like, you know what? We're going to gather money. We're going to gather money and give it to you to clear our chairman.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Because they don't want the bad.
Exactly.
Okay,
and then they transfer. We transfer the burden to them, and the chairman now has to
pay them.
To pay the members. Okay. And it's much easier for them,
Of course, they're working together. Do you have any stages that you've banned because they're all not paying?
Yes, we do.
A whole stage?
Yes, we do. We do have a whole stage that has been banned.
Okay.
These are stages whereby I think when we first went to register, the stage chairman actually happened to confide in one of the ladies that was doing the field work that day, like this stage. It would be foolhardy for you to trust anyone. So
this whole stage.
So at that time, we're just trying to gather numbers.
Yes, you're not going to disqualify just because someone said one bad word.
Exactly.
And you need the
when they see the service and they see it's so hope to them, they'll keep coming.
Yeah.
I think we learned a lesson. We deactivate everybody on the stage.
Okay.
Yes.
But then those people, like if I'm one of those people, I can go to another stage, can I not?
If you're one of those people, you cannot go to another stage.
Why not? I can be registered in another.
Your name is in the system. It can be flagged down. And also your bike is in the system.
Okay.
Yeah, all that can be flagged.
Okay, so okay, MedMoo will have me, but the stage people won't.
MedMoo will have, but actually, most BodaBoda people on average in Lira, what I also found out, most of them have an average of 2 stages each.
Okay.
So there's that stage that is around their home area, where they stay. They're going to stage there in the morning, whilst people are commuting to work.
Okay, then they get into town.
Then they get into town.
And then they sit at another
And then they
stage.
also have a stage over there.
Okay.
So we discovered that, whereby we find cases that we go to this stage and they say, this person is no longer staging here. This person stages at the other stage. So when you go to the other stage to collect probably the monies from people who are defaulting from that stage, you find the guy you're looking for from the other stage is actually at this stage. And of course, you go ahead and, you collect the monies from him. And this is where I stage. I have 2 stages.
Okay, so now your system, is it configured that one person could have 2 stages?
No.
You still have one?
Yes,
stage.
We still have one. Now we're still trying to figure out a way of having that. But those cases are actually very rare.
Okay. But anyway, it doesn't stop you from collecting your money. It's still the same bike, the same person.
Same bike, same person. And most times, the people at that stage always tell you at what time to come. At times they'll call you.
Yeah.
Some of them are so cooperative, especially for the stubborn ones. They'll tell you this person is here.
They were like, hey, come and collect your money.
Come and collect your money. Yes, we have held him. We held him for you.
That's interesting. Okay, so whilst and we were speaking earlier with you before we came here, which is that whilst you're providing fuel to BodaBoda, fuel credit to BodaBodas, in a way you're doing financial inclusion. This could be applied to any informal sector.
Definitely. Again, as we were speaking earlier on, I told you this is just not, it's not all about just fuel, but in the general sense, it's about financial inclusion for the informal sector specifically and the unbacked communities. Because right now, what we're experimenting with the market vendors and hawkers in particular, especially those ones that have already some form of structure that's available, because as we're doing that, as we're doing our survey, trying to venture into that, supporting the women particularly, we figured out that most of the women, you find that they do the purchases in the morning, others do them, at the end of the week, especially for items like Irish and all, then those ones that are highly perishable, like the greens, tomatoes and all that stuff.
Those are done daily? They're
done almost daily,
okay,
every morning. Yes, so those are the people that we're actually, trying to bring on board, so that we may be able to support them financially as well. We're doing this because we actually found that Lira Lira's economy is actually being supported by the women. Yes.
Tell me more.
Lira's economy is being supported by the women, and contrary, I may be wrong, but contrary to what most people think, in Lira, according to my findings, I think women have the most money.
Really?
Yes.
They have more cash?
They have more cash than the men.
That's interesting.
The only difference
is it because they serve it and the guys spend whatever they get?
Exactly.
Okay.
No, that could be a reason. But one of the most important things that I found out is men actually most of the men act like they have.
They'll act like they have money, they don't.
They have a lot of money, yes, but the women actually have the most money, because if you move there, you find in the markets, it's the women running it. You find in the shops, it's the women running it. Now, this is not a shop that a guy, a husband, opens for the wife. She hustled and got herself something to do. So the women actually run this economy, like Lira itself, the produce business. Oh my God, the timber business. Oh my God, women.
And they in the whole value chain. It's not they're the ones on the lower level, but it's a guy somewhere at the top.
Yes. It's of course the way our society has been structured. You find that at the top of it, of course,
it's still a guy.
It's a guy.
But at least there,
in between there,
yes,
the ladies are running the show in Lira.
You're making me want to go to Lira now.
Please come.
Like, I want to go to Lira, so where women run the economy. But unfortunately, we've come to the end of our time. But are there any key things that you'd like to highlight?
Yes. One of the things that we'll have to highlight is the fact that MedMoo, I believe, it's not something that is there, to generate profit, but this is a social enterprise. As we were speaking earlier on, you brought to light, the statistics, the numbers, how the society has been able to benefit, because we found out that, out of every 10,000 shillings of fuel that we loan out, the rate that the client is able to get 150%. Now, this is making money out of thin air. And I believe this is something that is necessary, for that it's a service that will be required, that is needed by a majority of people. I have been getting phone calls from Ginger, I've been getting phone calls from Iganga, and then Mbale. I think it was yesterday, a friend of mine,
He's also like, you need to bring the service
in. You should bring this inside.
Yes.
So in regards to fintech, I would like to let everybody know that up country there's a lot of talent. People have a lot of ideas. Not that I want to crucify Kampala, but there's a lot of concentration. A lot of concentration that has been put in Kampala. But I believe the people up country equally have good ideas, because we went virtually to the same schools. So I would actually employ the hubs, the Ministry of ICT to actually to shine a light.
Also in these major cities?
Yes, in these major cities, because there are a lot of young bright people that are doing miracles that side, I believe. Yes.
One of them you. Ladies and gentlemen, there you had it about MedMoo, and check out their website, just find out what they're doing, and if you're one of those people in a city that wants them to replicate there, please keep encouraging them. Hopefully they'll go beyond Alira. Thank you.